subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hello everyone and welcome to another amazing showcase of a awesome leader in One Piece. Today we're going to be talking about Lucci, one of my favorite leaders, and to be honest, when I first started this, he definitely wasn't my favorite. A lot of learning curve, a lot of combos, and I was really curious to see like where would Lucci stand within OP09 meta. And I'm happy to report, if I'm not mistaken, as of last week, he's like a number 2 leader out there with over a 50% win rate. And once you play this leader, you'll understand why. Black decks are amazing because they can essentially remove anything. So today I'll sort of dive into the type of deck that I'm trying out. I plan to bring this to my local tournament on Thursday to see how it goes. And there's a lot of different variation of what type of Lucci deck you can have. So first I'll sort of cover what I think are super important to have, and other things you can, simply switch out based on what you need. So for me, Brook, such an incredible card. There's a reason why this card is so expensive. It's just beautiful. It works very well, and I just love, how diverse and, flexible this card is. So definitely having about 4 of these is going to be super important. And then another card, I think is really cool to have is this Sabo. There's a lot of decks out there that can KO you, so having that KO protection is very critical. So there is some controversy around this. A lot of times people who play Sabo, they might want to run 2 or more. So if you aren't familiar with Lucci, Lucci is a unique character where you're playing a lot out of the trash. If you look at Lucci's main ability, when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck, give one of your opponent characters -1. So essentially, you always want to be building up a nice little awesome trash, and then you have a variety of cards out there that can summon things back from the trash, whether it's Rebecca or Moria. So because of this reason, I feel like I always end up with Sabo either in my hand or in the graveyard, which I can bring back. So running more than one really isn't necessary. The other big thing I really love to run, and I feel like this is mandatory in all Lucci decks, is definitely rocking 4 of these Rebecca. A lot of your combos is going to come from this particular card. This is a blocker, 4 cost, but the important part here is on play, you can return up to a character anywhere between 3 to 7, so that's most of the cards you have in your deck, and then you can play 1 cost card, that's, 3 or less. So using Rebecca, you can do so many amazing combos out there. I love it. The other big character, you obviously want to have is Lucci. This is what you really want to use to essentially clear out a lot of the board. So you trash 3 cards, from the bottom of place 3 cards from the trash, and you put it in the bottom of your deck, and then you can KO up to 2 characters, one with cost of 2 or less, and 1 of less. So usually using all the different cost reduction you have, you can easily use this to clear out an enemy's board. And here's my other character. I know a lot of people hate him. This talks of banning Moria. But this guy is way too powerful. 8k cost, 9k attack power, and when you play him, you can play up to 4 cost or less character from each trash, and then another 2 cost or less. So typically you want to use Moria into Rebecca to do your combo, or you can play Spondine to summon a 4 cost or so. So Moria is super important. The other card here is very optional, very situational. I personally love to run this, but you don't have to. I love running this Black Luffy right here. The reason why this is so important is there's a lot of cards out there, like, for example, the Shanks deck, Lucky Roo, where it says, hey, if this is removed by any type of KO, remove one of your characters. So when you have something like this where you attack and you trash your character, you can actually bypass a lot of KO restrictions. So having one of this is awesome. Same thing as Sabo. A lot of times either this will be in your hand or this is going to be in your graveyard. So easy to bring it back to life. Now the other one I want to call out, maybe a little controversial, is Jack. A lot of times people will have, Kaido in their deck, some Jack, but I love running 4, Jacks for me. Like, this is such an amazing card. For people who aren't aware, when you play this card, automatically has 4 cost, so it makes it really hard for like any black decks to remove it. And on top of that, you may rest this card, draw 1 card, and then trash one card. And then if you have a character at a cost of 3 or less, you can KO it. So using this combined with stuff like Ice Age, you can take out so many powerful characters. It's like ridiculous. So I always want to have a few of these. So I think running 4 is great. Next one, Who's Who. He has a 2k counter, 5 cost. And on top of that, you may discard one card and KO one of your characters with 3 cost or lower. Lots of utility. Now, this is a card I discovered recently, and I've noticed a lot of other Lucci players recently also started to add this to the deck. This is so powerful. So the first one is this character cannot be KO'd by battle against a leader. So if you can get this out early enough, use this cost reduction to help remove things, the leader is not able to kill this, which is fantastic. So activate main, you may rest this card, give one of your opponent's character cost 2 during this turn. Super powerful. I expect a lot of Luccis to be running this very soon, but cool card. And then besides that, definitely 4 Ice Age, super powerful in this deck. Give one of your opponent's character -5, to their turn. So essentially using this, you can take out so many characters in your opponent's deck. This is also another cool one, Soap Sheep. Not everyone runs it. Give 2 of your opponent's characters -2 during, to their cost. So you can take 2 characters on your opponent's board and give each of them -2, which I think is super powerful. And then, we'll get into 6 King Pistol. Having this is awesome. And then lastly, the 4 Tempest Kick. I think Tempest Kick is very versatile. If you need to draw and get some new cards in your hand, you can play this. But essentially, if your trash has 10 or more, you can give one of your characters -3. And that's also, draw a card, which is pretty cool. So a lot of diversity here. Let's sort of jump into one of the games and sort of see how this deck sort of pilots. So we're gonna pick Lucci, go into multiplayer, Western, Lucci, quick join, and let's see who we end up with. I don't know. I feel like there's always a Shank that I'm fighting, so it'll be okay. This is gonna be interesting. Red, purple Luffy. I kind of like it. 3 health, 6k attack. Seems very powerful, but let's get to it. So we'll keep this. I think this is a good first hand to have. You have spend dime, so you can look up another card. You have the jack. You have the 2k counter plus removal. So a lot of good cards here. We're going second. So the only obvious play here is to play the spend dime out. We can't get anything. But the good part is it all goes to our trash. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything to bring Moria back. So we only have 2 more Morias in our deck. So hopefully at some point we'll draw him. Moria is such an important card for Lucci to have. So nothing more we can do. We end our turn. And of course, kind of what I expected. Now I could take this, but life is precious. I don't want to give it up. So we'll just do a 2k counter here. And boom. What will he do? Of course, put up the Zoro. Nice. All right, let's see. What are we going to do next? Draw some cards. So we do have 4 here. We don't have enough to remove Zoro. Actually, I could play the Lucci, so I'll sort of do that. So we'll actually just attack to use our ability. -1. Play out the Lucci, use card activation. We can't bring him back anyway, so... Man, 3 Morias? It's a little crazy, so we'll take him. And boom. One of the things I love about Lucci is you can keep the enemy's battlefield essentially empty, just constantly killing everything. And then if you're lucky enough to get a Moria at the right time, you can rebuild your board up. There we go. We're probably going to have to take this. Nothing much we can do. We'll take that. Another Spandime. Never a bad thing. So now here's where all the fun starts. So Bon Clay, he's very dangerous, because when he attacks, he can take the ability, attack power of another one of my characters and leverage that. And sadly, we can't summon Jack yet. So I think the obvious play here is going to be use, just Ice Age, give him a -5, play down the Brook, and we can KO that guy. And then from here, we still have 2 left. You know what? I do want to draw another card. Actually, no. We'll just, for the time being, save the span dime, use our special ability, which is essentially trash 2, give someone a -1. In this case, we don't have anyone to -1, but this is really important to help build your trash up. So we already have some good cards in there. And from here, I could attack with Lucci, but you know what, I'll hold off. Be able to attach more Dons to him will be nice. So on our 7th turn, it'll be really cool because now we'll be able to pull the Jack out and do some interesting plays. So here we got 9. Not much we can do. We're going to take it. Yep. Opponent -3. Yep, no, we can't do anything. So let's sit back, and I think we can actually make some really good plays here. So the first one is going to be, if we Ice Age into a Jack, then we can definitely remove this. But again, we have a limited amount of Ice Ages in our deck, 4. We've used up 1, we have another one. Is it worth it? I think so. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, looks about perfect. So we'll Ice Age him. We have 7. We'll play down the Jack. And we're going to use his special ability. So we're going to trash 1 card. And who do we want to trash here? You know what? Let's get a little rid of this Luffy. We'll bring him back later if necessary. Get rid of him. Perfect. And now we can, we really can't do much. He has a plus 1,000. But again, we cleared his board. That's exactly what we're looking for. So in my opinion, this is a win. I could attack, use my ability to build up my trash. Maybe I'll do that. It's always good to have your trash built. Now we're above 10, which is good. So we can use Tempest Kick in the future to minus people and do some good stuff. Ooh, see, now this is where I wish I would have had my Ice Ages. But here he attacked that. Smart move. Let's get rid of Jack. Let's see what happens next. I feel like I have to take this. It's always unfortunate. Nothing much I can do there. But let's go for it. So we have 10 Dons, and we need to get him to a -3. So let's see here. We got 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we can do it actually. So 2 of these plus the Jack. We got it. Okay. So -3, -3. Put down the Jack. So at this point, even without doing an additional -1, we have more than enough to get rid of him. So we're just going to do that. So let's go in here. We'll trash. Ooh, this is tough. Spandime, because we want to keep the 2K counters. And now he's gone. Look at that. Look how beautiful that works. So we're going to come here, actually, and do a 7. Just to remove some cards from his hand. This is the difficult. Oh, nice. He got rid of this big Sanji right here. We can't do anything else. And take a look at this. Our board is filling up, and the enemy essentially has nothing. And we have plenty of ways to defend ourselves. So let's see where we end up next. Oh, I hate the Ben Beckman. Here we can actually count out of this. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no blocker. We'll actually do this right here. Get rid of that. We're at 8K, through 10. That's good. Life is something that's super precious. And you don't have a yellow deck where you can just rebuild your life up constantly. So you're very limited in what you can do. So now here's the question is, can we get Beckman to under 3 and KO him? And we probably can. So we have a -2 right here. Right? We have a 3 right here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's perfect. That gives us everything we need. So first we're going to... So we need 4. Get some nice attacks in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can live with that. Go here. Give him a -1. Let's play the Suru out. There we go. One more. 4, 5, 6, 7. We got it. Now we can come here. You know what? I'll get rid of him just to keep the 2K counter because life is precious. And we don't want to mess it up. We can come here again, do a 7K, and just remove another card from hand. Look at that. Another blocker, 2K counter, good stuff. Man, getting the Morian. Oh, here we go, of course. See, now we don't really have a good way to remove... you know what? We can actually counter out of this, which is nice. So, help our health again. That's what we kind of expected. He's going to go for the Jack. Not surprised at all. See, we have the Rebecca, but what can we do here? We could pull the Jack back, or can we delete this other character in some way? Let's see. 3 to 7. Oh, we can't even do Suru. Yeah, this is very limited in what we can do. So in this case, we're gonna play her. Let's get the Jack back. This way, next turn we can try to do something. There's nothing we could really put down. In this case, we just gotta go for it and go for some health. Do I kill this? 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nah, he can just counter it. I think I'm just gonna go straight for health. 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do a 9k swing, see what happens. Is he gonna take that? Nope. So what you want them to get rid of cards in their hand, which is great. 22 cards in our trash. I don't think we need to use our ability again. Just put some damage down. There we go. So now the question is, next turn, can they eliminate me? If they can, we'll see. But if not, I can probably... Oh, here we go. I had a feeling the Sanji, and then you rest that. And then you're very limited. So here we go. They got it. Nothing more. We don't have any counters in hand. So we kind of have to give it up here. But this was so close. Oh my God. Of course, another Rebecca. He comes in. And I love close games like this. If I could have made maybe one more adjustments earlier on, we probably would have had this. If we could have landed another Rebecca, would have been awesome. And here we go. Take the GG. I know some people just concede and leave, but I feel like, you know what? My opponent wins, gives them the satisfaction. And just looking at their hand, they have a good amount of counters here. So this definitely would have been very tough. But either way, I think we could have pulled it off, but this was the game. This is Lucci. And one of the things I just want to mention about myself is way too often when I look up gameplay on YouTube and other places, people are always showing wins. Seeing wins is amazing, but I think it's also important to see the losses as well too. Kind of sit and sort of think about what you could have done better. So this was a pretty good, game state. I do feel like if we could have got another turn, we could have ended it here and also made a couple of, changes in the beginning. Could have been good. Like, losing so many Morias would have sucked. If you look through my trash right now, let's see how many Morias we have in here. 1. Pretty sure I saw more. I think I may have bottom decked them previously, but either way, getting some Moria would have been nice. Being able to combo off that would have been cool. But that's kind of Lucci in a nutshell. I plan to do a lot more Lucci game. I'm always experimenting. So we'll see how things go. But I do appreciate you guys sticking with me, checking this out. A lot more leaders to come. I play a lot of off-meta, some meta stuff. And I really want to help teach people how amazing this game is. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I played Pokemon. And One Piece is probably one of the simplest, best card games out there. And with that, have a great night, guys.